Press 1.
Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. It is Tuesday night, January 11th, 2022. We are here from Chicago, Illinois, in a basement and in an attic. It's been a wild 24 to 36 hours thereabouts when it comes to pro football here in the Chicagoland area. There's a lot to talk about today. As always, if you're watching us on Twitch, thank you. If you're watching us anywhere, thank you. If you're listening live on Blog Talk Radio as well, thank you very much. And those of you listening later, wherever you get your podcasts, thank you so much. But if you want to join the Twitch stream, it's twitch.com/sportsaddict. It's kind of where a lot of the fun is happening these days. To join in with a phone call, 760-454-8834. He's Larcher, I'm Lawrence, and let's just get this thing rolling, buddy. I'm going to hand it over to the one and only Alfred Ferdinand Larcher the third.
Hello, Clark. It's lovely to be here with you tonight. Another beautiful day in the city of Wind.
Another cold day. It got warmer this afternoon, I hear.
I did. It got a little warmer. The mayor got COVID.
Got it.
So that was breaking news.
She's in our club.
And they had to stop the presses for that one. We no longer have a general manager of the Bears. I've submitted an application. I don't know how that's going. They haven't contacted me yet. I'm a little concerned. We no longer have a head coach of the Bears.
That's true.
You almost became $10,000 richer. I mean, we're gonna need the play-by-play on how that went down.
We're gonna have to discuss the rules of that a little bit because I'm not completely sure of it, but I was certainly wide awake and believed that I had a shot at $10,000.
Yeah, you absolutely did.
Yeah, well, we'll see. There's a few different people telling me different rules on that.
Well, don't listen to those people. I'm telling you right now. I got a guy who works at the who did you bet through?
Well, then why the hell did they call the timeout, Al? Why did the coach? What's his name? Staley, Bruce Staley.
That's
Why did he call the timeout? It didn't matter. Why the fuck did he call the timeout?
That's how life villains are made, Clark. You now have a life villain. You have a coach you will never like, no matter how good he is or no matter what he does.
After the last, yesterday and everything, I forgot all about it almost. That was crazy. You were up with me. You were texting me. I ended up staying up way too damn late that night. I couldn't come back. It's hard to come back down.
No, you can't come back down from that. I actually, there was 5 seconds left, and I wrote the congratulatory tweet, and I'm like, don't send it. Don't send it. It's bad luck to send it now. You'll curse it if it goes wrong. So I went ahead and I held off on sending the tweet. And then I wrote, I wrote up a nice sad tweet for you, but I'm like, I don't know. I'll give it a minute there.
Yeah.
When I won $15,000 last year, I took the high score at the beginning of the end of the first set of games. There's the early games and the late games. So there were 3 games still left, and I had the high score on DraftKings. And I knew, and anybody who plays knows, it never holds. So with 3 games to left, and by the way, those two, one of those games had the highest over-under on the week, I knew I was going to eventually lose. And then 10 minutes left in the game, and I'm still in the lead. Then there's 5 minutes left in the game, and I'm still in the lead. And then I realized, well, I'm going to at least take a top 5 spot, and there's a guy who's about to catch me. And then it came down to the final game of the final play on the slate, and I ended up holding. I think it was Lamar Jackson needed to get 3 yards, and it was 3rd and 3, and the Dolphins held them. And I think they ended up getting a yard, and I ended up winning the $15,000. But I couldn't sit down. I was standing up. I was watching the game. I was pacing. I was sweating. I lost 5 pounds of liquid just staring at the screen. And I assume your day went similar. I'm so you had to get the Jacksonville Jaguars to win the game first and foremost, which was a long shot. You told us about the bet last week, and I didn't laugh at it. I didn't write it off, but I also didn't take it.
Well, and I
So
was tweeting before the game started, like, hey, this is before the day started. I'm like, here's the fool's bet that I made. And, I had seen the tweet that had earlier mentioned that if the Jaguars win that game, then all that those teams had to do on Sunday night was tie to get in. And
but
so,
I knew, and I think deep down inside you knew that the NFL would not allow teams just to take knees in the game then in a tie. Like a competitive game had to have been played. But
right.
it ended up becoming a competitive game. And as soon as they drove that last touchdown to get into overtime, I go, my God, I think Clark might have this. It's still a long way out. It's still like games don't end in ties. But
Right.
there was a strategic point in the game where both teams had the best chance of winning by simply ending that game and letting it go into the tie because they don't lose anything and both get it. So, where if you kick a field goal, if you go for the field goal, you miss, they return the field goal, the other team wins. Where if you just let the clock run out, there's zero risk involved. It's like when you're leading in fantasy, and I never do this. I think this is the dumbest move, and I think only I don't know what that PCT. You used to be able to call people pussies, but you can't say that anymore.
Backboneless, lack of backbone.
Yellow. People yellow of
I don't
character.
know. I'm not sure if that works either. I have no idea. But yes,
Well,
I understand.
whatever. You know what I'm talking about.
I get where you're going with it. Yes.
People who lack courage. They sit their defenses in fantasy football. And, that was kind of like where both these teams were at that point. And, so Jacksonville wins the game, which wasn't going to happen. There's no way that was going to happen. And
then they dominated.
Yeah. Jonathan Taylor busts out.
Yeah. So then we go into the night game, and what I need is a tie, I believe, right?
Yes.
The game to end in a tie. However, my buddy who had made the same bet, when I texted him like, hey, this thing's coming close, he's like, unfortunately, I think we needed to tie at halftime. And that's hard. It was hard for me to understand. But here's where it is, Al. I thought we did still have a chance because it's a double result, which is a draw. You see where it says double result?
Yeah.
There's a guy here who explained it to me because I had made a tweet that it's a double result bet. So it needed to be a tie at halftime as well as at the end of regulation. This is what it is. Those are the options for the double result bet.
We will be getting to the firings in a moment, but first, Clark, we're playing what ifs with Clark.
Well, I'm just trying to decide, did I actually have the chance? But then they left it up. It was still in the my bets is open until the end of overtime. So I wondered if a double result could then be, because it wasn't a tie at halftime. I wondered if the double result could then be, it just says draw. Then a double result. I mean, technically, if it's a draw at the end of the regulation, then it's a draw at the end of the game. I need some clarification on this. But as you see, I mean, the payout there, my $5 was going to turn into 3,500, right?
Yeah.
Or 35. Yeah, 3,500. And then the $10 was going to turn into 7,100, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if it would have paid out.
Your ROI finally would have matched mine. We could have had a huge set. We would have been two kings, Clark. But I thought I was getting a steak dinner out of the deal.
Well, and you would have, 100%. There would have been a celebratory steak dinner. Tonight's show would have been live from Gibson's. Unless Gibson. Oh, I gotta get out of here. Hang on, sorry.
Gibson's. That's where fancy people go.
Well, where do you want?
Just went to the. We gone to the Long Branch, the Longhorn, whatever the hell it is.
Oh yeah. I don't know. It was certainly a lot of fun watching that game. Yep, absolutely. Yo, we will be getting, as mentioned, we'll be getting there too, Tone. Thanks for joining us. Good to see you again. It's been a few minutes.
Were you shaking? Were you, I know you can't sit still to begin with. So
I stood up and I was pacing a little bit. Not Ryan pacing, but I was pacing a little bit. Just a tad is what I was doing at the time, Al. But Lauren was sleeping. I kind of woke her up. I'm like, this game's tied. She's like, yeah, but there's still 6 minutes left. I'm like, yeah, but it's tied in overtime. That's what's going on here. I guess what I'm trying to say is I was very excited at the possibility, and I was standing up. I was walking around. I had already kind of spent some of the money. The Longhorn is where it was going.
Yeah.
I was already redoing the kitchen floor. How about that? I already had the kitchen floor done, and then we were going to finish out the appliances, and I was going to get the the new oven, because we've slowly been switching from white appliances to the stainless steel that all the kids have these days.
Yeah, I mean that happens when you're about to win big. You do start fantasy spending, and
Can you see the green room over there, Larcher?
yeah,
Yeah, you can see the green room, huh? Well,
no, I can't see the green room.
no, you can't. Okay,
I can't. No,
all right. Are you just saying that, or
no, I can't see the green room. You got something in the green room? Now I want to know what's in the green room.
In the green room.
I'm a very depressed man. Like I'm sick here, Clark.
With a pot of coffee, a little bit of marijuana, and a lot of beers. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us right now, longtime friends of the show, Kellen from the wonderful podcast and show Beard Down.
Hey, I was telling you to wait 3 minutes. I was trying to have a smoke, man.
Oh, I thought you were just showing
See,
have the smoke. It's the smoke on our show.
See, Kellen, this is what I have to deal with, buddy.
I know it's terrible. Hey, it's almost like dealing with George McCaskey and his lies and bullshit.
Wow, I mean you're getting right to it. You're cutting right to the chase. I mean,
I've never been so happy and then so disappointed in my life. I mean, it's just going to be the same old bullshit.
Well, my thing is let's let it happen.
Are we allowed to everybody's program?
Huh?
Oh yeah.
Are we allowed to swear?
What are the rules here?
Only Casey is.
Okay, good. Gosh darn it.
Good effing luck.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Casey and I and Al were longtime members of the comedy group Comedy Accident.
That's right. It's still alive. It's still real to me, damn it.
Al and I once in a while step in and show up on your guys' show, Beer Down, and that's
true.
Oh yeah,
you guys are brothers.
You guys are actually originators with Beer Down.
That's true.
Back in the day, we were on NBC.
Oh, geez.
We were on TV.
We were on the TV on NBC Sports Chicago or Comcast. It was still
Comcast. I was playing sound, loving it.
We were on the weekend show with Lawrence and everything.
Guys, we got the band back together.
Yeah, we got the band back together.
We do, man. Now let's cause some trouble. You guys want to go steal some gas stations?
Yeah.
We do whatever you want.
Man, Al and I hadn't even gotten to that part yet, guys.
I'm going to storm Hallis Hall. Who's with me?
I thought you might. Like,
I don't protest.
I thought you. Al's not a
protest.
You
know, you pacifist.
I'm worried about Kellen's mental health right now. That's all.
Well, I just don't understand how you can have a man that owns an organization that's the flagship team of the Chicago Bears.
The NFL.
They're the NFL. Papa Bear Hallis is everything. And then this son of a bitch says the words out of his mouth. I am just a football fan, not a talent evaluator.
And I even doubt that. I don't even think he's a football fan.
In the next sentence, I will make the final decisions and who's higher.
If you were a football fan, you would sell the team.
That's a mechanic saying like, I don't know how to work on cars, but I just took over AutoZone.
If you're not
that happens often
evaluator and you're just a fan, how can you have why do you have the final decision? And it feels very much the same when years ago when they brought in what's his name to come in to help out with the decision. This time they bring in Pullian, right?
You have a 99-year-old woman who we don't even know if she knows where she is. You know, I mean, well, we don't. There's questions. When people age, you have questions.
Is she only 99?
She's only 99.
Oh, she's got a long time ahead of her.
They bring in a 79-year-old man to help figure out in the modern NFL who to hire.
It's unbelievable.
For her son, we don't know his age. Google George McCaskey. You can't get his age.
That's right.
A vampire.
That's right.
Google the McCaskies are vampires. Something's fishy.
Google him. Google George McCaskey age, and it says between the age of 55 and 75.
Yes. Who knows?
Hey, Al.
They don't even know the man's age.
I can't believe you.
Al, can I ask you a question? Do you think his head and his pride and ignorance is so far up his ass he's like timeless like Santa Claus in his mind?
Yes.
Like, I can't figure, there's no age for him, so what, you're just timeless?
I just
like
he's timeless.
You're an enigma of time.
Guys, we found George McCaskey's burner account on Twitch. It's at Sesame Seed 35. He says the boardroom thinks he's doing a good job. Leave him alone. And he says he's here.
Boardroom is misspelled. It's BORED.
And the boardroom's made up of Ted Phillips. Oh, and guess what? We're getting Sweaty Teddy back to help make these decisions. This is fucking absurd. I mean, we are going to be in the same place we were the last time. I mean, let's be honest here. The last time, so, you know, Papa Bear, rest in peace, master. Hey, he set up that Super Bowl for 85. Right before he died, he already had laid the blueprints. Ever since the goddamn kids have taken over, you know what it is? A shit show. What's happening?
Nepotism.
It's a horrible reality show.
We hear coming up, George McCaskey's going to have a 1 p.m. press conference. You don't see Ted Phillips mentioned anywhere. Then George McCaskey starts off, and he goes, and Ted Phillips is here. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Why is he there? When he goes, Ted's going to go do the stuff in Arlington Heights. He's not going to have anything to do with the football.
Special project manager. He's like a character in the office.
But he's on the committee that's going to hire the new GM and coach. Who needs this guy's input?
Kellen, that is my...
Get your incubus out. Your Acubus, what is that thing? The Acubus?
Abacus.
Abacus, that's it.
Al, you and Kellen have the same isms. Earlier, he goes, what'd you say earlier? It's not night and day. It was night and...
I can't
You go, it's just like day.
That was an hour ago.
And I go, you sound like Al.
Thank you. I think that's a good thing.
That's the point. He said, Ted's going to be in Arlington. The new GM will report directly to me. They're not ready to name a football operations president yet.
No.
They'll report to me.
Who are they going to report to? The fanboy? The guy that came on TV and said, I'm just a fan. I'm not a talent evaluator.
But let's be honest. He's not even a fan. He doesn't understand.
Yeah, because if you're a fan,
if you're a fan of the Bears,
I'm ruining them.
Yeah, I would get out of there. I'd say, I don't know what I'm doing.
If these guys would have done something weeks ago, we could have had a GM in place. We could have had a structure in place to make a hire for the GM.
You mean what, Al? What do you mean by that? Be competent?
100%
yes, be competent. Be somewhat competent. You know, I mean,
100% agree.
Hey, R.I.P. Bob Saget, but that'd be America's Funniest Home Videos if that actually happened.
Bob Saget died. R.I.P. Bob.
Yeah, that one was rough, guys.
I know it was.
No, it really wasn't.
Yeah, I was okay.
I'm with Al. I was okay with it.
Yeah. It wasn't rough. It was just like, damn, unexpected. Old Bob Saget.
Let's be honest. Like, you get a call, Bob Saget.
Hey,
died.
what was Bob Saget's best scene or movie of all time in your guys' opinion?
Oh,
attorney work.
No, it's got to be
his best game was Half Baked. It was Half
Dave
Baked.
Chappelle.
Half Baked.
No, Casey's on the right track. Half Baked.
Half Baked.
Have you ever sucked dick for weed, man?
Yeah, and that's what happened.
R.I.P. Bob Saget.
R.I.P. Bob Saget.
Yeah, he was good.
Guys, can I tell you that things have gotten a little bit.
That was Tim the Toolman Taylor.
It's close, though.
Gotten a little bit better, I feel like, today. I'm feeling a bit better about that list of everybody that's coming in. Like, there's a lot of great
Are we still talking about Bob Saget or
no?
Okay, I'm back.
Todd Bowles, Brian Dable, Leslie Frazier, Nathaniel Hackett, Byron Leftwich, Doug Peterson, Dan
Flores,
Minaj, Russell Brown, Glenn Cook.
Double
list.
No, I don't want the fat white guy from Buffalo.
Yeah, fat white guy from Buffalo.
Kellen, fat white guy from Buffalo. It speaks to Al in my heart. Al brought him up, what, 2 months ago? How long have you been bringing this?
I've been following them
like
too.
3.
Nothing says football like a fat white guy. Nothing says football like a fat white guy.
Hey, I know. We might have been gifted Miami Fire and Flores, which that stunned me. It really did. I mean, this team started so horrible. You win 7 straight. You can see he's got something there. There's something going on in that organization where we're not addressing.
Well,
and we're the
problem.
Bears, so let's not act like we're higher than.
But we should be able to kick down. We should be able to punch downward. So the Dolphins and the Lions, are the 3 teams we're allowed to make fun. The Jaguars, yeah.
I don't care. I don't care who does it as long as they do a good job, and we won't know until they do their job.
Right.
We need to sell this team.
Thank you, John Madden.
99, you're hit. The object of the game is to win. And RIP John Madden. We got to say that one.
Oh,
that's way worse than Bob Saget.
Boom.
John Madden, the best thing. Do you guys remember when he was like losing his mind towards the end of Monday Night Football?
It's called Birth.
And he started there. The Arizona Cardinals are playing somebody, and he started talking about there's a community college in Arizona that talks about their nickname. Their team's the Artichokes. So the people in the newspaper always post the Chokes choke. And he got the biggest kick out of it. Now Michaels is looking at him like fucking senile.
Did you, Kellen? Did you catch his?
The Chokes choke. Don't you get it? Boom.
Did you catch the documentary on Madden?
Hey, Al, how about you shut the fuck up?
Kellen, you had anything to drink tonight?
He's had a few whiskeys.
Hey, I've been up since 5 a.m. working and shit.
Clark or Kellen. Casey's the only one who's allowed to swear, buddy. We went through the rules.
We talked about it.
I break the rules.
Gosh darn it. Gosh darn it, guys. Gosh darn it.
I'm a rule breaker.
Go to your local.
This is Thunderdome, I thought.
Benny's Beverage Depot. Kellen is the warehouse manager there.
Hey, shout out to Benny's Beverage Depot. Can we do that on this show?
Yeah, absolutely. Is that down there at Lincoln?
The big fucker, Macy's. Yeah.
Wow.
He swore again.
They turned Macy's into a Benny's?
Yeah.
Yeah. It pretty much was.
2021.
Yeah, the one on Mason down there near
Marcy Street. It's Marcy Street.
Sheffield, North and Sheffield, around there, just north of there.
Flyborn and Sheffield. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucker, man. The tasting room.
My one. Now I'm up here at the one in Irving Park, Kellen. Is there any insight? Can you give me a heads up when when a nice bourbon shows up there? Is there any kind of a tech? Do I have to? Yeah, I see what you got going on.
I have that same glass.
But
I strongly suggest not to drink whiskey.
Al, do you have your glass out tonight?
I don't. I'm drinking coffee right now. It's coffee and weed.
Oh, nice.
I'm only drinking
wine.
Can
we smoke pot on this show?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm only drinking wine on this show tonight.
Somebody just told us we're everyone is stoned on this set, and that is true.
I've got a checkup tomorrow, so only a little bit of marijuana.
You have a checkup?
I go get the heart checked on and everything, so I'm trying to take it a little bit easy tonight.
Do you have a charcuterie board in front of you with that red wine? What's going on over here?
A charcuterie board.
He became a dad, and now he's drinking red wine.
What the fuck are you doing, Clark?
He's grown up.
It's a Bears glass.
Oh, I love that.
That's something to be proud of.
You have a glass in your hand.
Guys, remember.
Speaking of Bears, the Chicago Bears.
Kellen, I love them.
Al, I was going to ask you before the fellas joined us, but I'll ask you both now. Kellen and Al, no offense, Casey.
I don't mind.
How do you feel about what George had to say about Olin Kreutz yesterday?
Oh, my God. Dude. Olin Kreutz is the fucking man. Are you serious, Al? You side with this piece of shit, McCaskey?
He didn't say anything. He didn't say anything yet.
I haven't said a word yet.
Who's making the fucking sounds? Is that Clark?
That's our producer, Jimmy.
Yeah, that's Al. Dude, are you that far up the ass with the bear?
No. Let him respond.
Hang on.
Let Al respond.
Go ahead. Well,
Olin responded, but go ahead, Al.
One, I think both sides are ridiculous. How about that? I'm right in the middle on them.
I know.
That's right.
I think I don't think like Olin was being completely. I don't want to say honest. I don't think he was telling the full story. Like I think he was offered a job that insulted him, but it probably wasn't that insulting if you really look at what it was. I mean, I can't imagine the score is paying him all that much. I mean, he's probably making $16 an hour there. So, I mean, they outbid him.
Hey, how about you push your Oh, yeah, shut this. Oh, see?
Well, I'm going to, with what Al said, there's some logic. I do see that Olin didn't tell the full story.
Well, no. Look,
I see that
shit.
But I'm not going to negate the
fact
that Olin Kreutz is an awesome
I mean, he punched a guy like an FBI facility, like a gun range.
Like,
Yeah,
dude,
and the other
I
dude
mean-
threw fucking weight at him, man.
Yeah, they're throwing weights and shooting guns. I mean, oh, good.
Yeah.
It's like a
I
big
think
Hawaiian guy.
he also pushed Drew Brees up against the wall.
yeah, when you talk about a man card, he's got all his holes are punched.
I want to look at all you three. I can only look at this fucking real life. He's bad. Don't ever badmouth Owen Cruz. I want that dude. That guy is true, and I believe what he says, 100%. And now maybe he was misconstrued under the aspects of a contract and the help. But dude, how do you offer a former player $15 an hour I don't care what you're doing to come in there and help a team that's struggling, that can't get their heads out of their ass. They haven't been able to get their heads out of their ass for where are we at now?
All right. Yeah, that's Rygar. Oh, there goes Rygar. Since we have the full panel assembled here today, let's ask the meatball question. Right. Steve McMichael in his prime versus Olin Kreutz in his prime at a fight in an empty pool.
Mongo.
Oh,
empty
Mongo.
pool.
Mongo. Empty pool
Mongo.
fight. Mongo too.
No weapons.
I haven't seen them.
But dude, it would have been a wild ass fight. We're talking like maybe judgment score, dude. Owen Kreutz, not a guy you want to toy with.
I like the empty pool match, but that would be Mongo.
I like the idea of Mongo there, but man, I feel like Olin has the edge. I really do.
I don't know, man. That's such a hard one.
Well, I'm going to disagree.
McMichael is crazy at a level that was beyond the level of crazy Olin is at.
I don't know, man. You seen those eyes?
I've seen the eyes. I've seen the eyes of both men. I mean, if we're talking eyes, you got to throw Mike Singletary in the fight, but he would just lose.
Oh,
Richard Dent, man.
Yes.
Boner.
The best of all time.
Yeah, I mean, Clark, I disagree with the Olin Kreutz over Mongo. Mongo is a maniac, just like Olin, but he's just tougher.
Yeah.
He just is. Like when it comes down to it, he's just tougher.
Let's see what. Well, the guys aren't chatting in yet to let us know, but somebody did ask earlier.
I don't know who these people are, but
you guys beer down. Can you see the? You can see the.
Yeah, I don't. I got. We got to ask the question.
Yeah, I'm Team Olin too, man. Olin Kreutz is the man. He ain't gonna lie about something like that. Maybe he wasn't like subjective.
We didn't say he lied. We said he didn't explain the whole truth.
But George McCaskey, a man he's never even fucking met, because Michael McCaskey was pretty much his owner.
There's like 76 McCaskey.
Yeah, wasn't he? Oh, that's a good one, Al.
Give him the Lou treatment.
Am I wrong? Michael McCaskey was the president when Olin played until like his last couple years. When George took over, George didn't take over in 2011.
Right.
George hasn't taken over, period.
And look at the sham. And dude, Michael at least got us to a Super Bowl. Why they ever I get why they fired Lovey when they did, but I don't get why they chose a year to do it. Let him go another year. I don't know. At the time, I was like, yeah, fire Lovey Smith. Let's bring in a new regime because we're not getting to where we need to be.
I think we all now can agree that he should have smoked that cigarette.
And look,
Yeah.
You guys gotta agree. Like, where have we been since then?
We've been.
I know we don't have y'all for too much longer here today.
Yeah.
But I do want to know what hire
Wilson for life. Wilson for life is right.
Around for you right now, Casey Kellen. What would turn things around for you right now with the head coaching hire and the GM hire? What would you be looking to say? Hey, this
a team sell.
It's a whole sell, yeah.
Sell the team. But like, if this is what we're stuck with, I know. I like that. You know that Brian Flores, man. He just got released from Miami. We have a good quarterback.
I can't tell you what I think is a good head coach or a good GM. I think you need to sell a team and let somebody say, I don't know what I'm doing, and give up the reins.
Yep. I just found us from the old NBC sports show.
Look how young you are, Kel.
There it is.
I was dipping that in, baby.
You're wearing the exact same outfit.
Al, what are your thoughts on it?
Guys, you know what's badass? Would you ever think you'd ever be on NBC Sports and Lance Briggs and Alex Brown and Jim Miller and would ever know who you were and be like, hey, here's these guys and make jokes? That's fucking cool, man.
It was a lot of
that.
I had a blast. That was so awesome. Thank
I
you.
spent my entire life wondering if Jim Miller's ever going to say my name.
I was very happy to be a part of that. Let me tell you.
That was fucking cool,
That
man.
was a cool experience.
Yep.
So I mean, the GM here are the people they've interviewed so far.
Yeah, I know.
Glenn Cook, Morocco Brown, Kwasi Adolfo Mensah, Ed Dobbs, Jeff Ireland, Joe Schoen. Oh man, I got gas. Rand Carthen and Rick Harris. Now we know who zero of these people are. So
that's the best fucking line of the show. Oh man, I got
I'm
gas.
Team Rygar, by the way.
You sound like Jimmy off South Park. Ooh, I got gas.
Oh my goodness. You
that's true, but
you know a name that's not been tossed around a lot that I would take a look at?
Owen Kreutz.
Shut up, fuckhead.
All right.
Dave Tope.
yeah, man, I don't know.
Why not? Why not give him a look? I think the guy could be a quality head coach.
I don't think he's a guy who could turn around a franchise.
What
I
do
mean,
you-
I think
What do you think the bread and butter of Bears football is?
the
Defense.
bread and butter of Bears football.
Like, what makes Bears football Bears football? What do we excel at?
Really bad field conditions.
Well, that's why we're getting a new stadium around in Heights.
Park District.
Yeah.
We can control that shit. No, Bears. Oh, spaceship ain't coming. No, listen to me. This is what Bears football is. Solid defense, great running game,
I like
throw
John
when
Dorsey.
you have to, and good special teams. That's Bears football. That's what
But the game has evolved past that. And
no, it hasn't.
it has. It really has.
But dude, think if you get someone to manage Justin Fields, a guy that can throw for 300-400 yards a game, 2 to 3 touchdowns, and you can run for 2 to 3 touchdowns.
Yes, now we're talking fantasy. I think we should have a quarterback who throws 500 yards and runs for 300, and a running back that runs for 300.
500 yards a quarter.
I'm saying it.
Yeah,
So
a quarter.
in free agency right now, we finally have some money to spend. What's your first spend? As soon as it is. Yeah, we do. $55 million.
Wilson
So,
brings up Rick.
What do you do? Best free agent left tackle. Proven left tackle. Okay, I don't think Tevin Jenkins is.
See, everybody says that, but there's no such thing. Like, good left tackles don't become free agents. That's just not a thing. They're too valuable. Good quarterbacks don't become free agents.
Look, what I'm saying right now, though, Tevin Jenkins, I think, can develop into a good player.
You're saying you love
I
Owen.
agree.
And I do love Owen Kreutz, man. How could you not love Owen Kreutz? That guy's one of the best Bears of all time. He was a top center for years, and we were lucky enough to have him on our team. Think if he'd have been on the fucking Patriots, he'd have 4 goddamn Super Bowl rings by now.
Back to Tevin Jenkins.
So anyway, Tevin Jenkins. Again, going back to the last game, why is Jason Peters, and thank you for your service, sir, but 77, that's how old you are. Why is our young rookie not getting experience out there that entire last game? Why? What do you have to play for? Nothing. He needs the experience. He's coming off injury. I think
that coaching staff is gone. I think Tevin Jenkins is a hell of a prospect.
Larry Gorham going to be a good player.
Hey, somebody brought up, we were talking GMs, Rick Smith. He's the guy who was running that shit show from like 06 to 18. He was there for the end of the shit show of the Houston, Texans. Maybe something like that could work.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want anything attached to the Texans.
Yeah, dude, I'm sorry. I'm sick of, and you know what's really sad? A lot of these reports you keep reading about, it's like, oh, they're tied to the Browns. And it's just like, what was that third defensive coordinator we got from the Jaguars during Trestman? Do you guys remember what
His wife is saying.
Mel Tucker?
I feel like
Mel
it's starting to
Tucker.
be-
Oh, Mel Tucker,
Do you remember
yeah.
Mel Tucker? And everybody's
Yes.
like, "Oh, Mel Tucker's coming in as his defensive coordinator from the Jaguars."
Didn't he come from the Colts?
No, this is Jaguars.
Oh, that was the other guy. That was the other guy. Yeah.
That was out in Denver.
But why are we going?
I
From
don't
these-
think you're right. What? It was it Del Rio?
No, it was Mel
It was
Tucker,
Mel
and I'm
Tucker.
pretty sure he coached the Jaguars defense, and then he came to.
Was
the
he
Bears.
from Detroit? Did he come from Detroit?
Or,
Was he like the head coach of the?
all
I mean,
I'm telling you.
Whatever happened
Hey,
to
Also,
predictability?
it doesn't really matter.
Hey, on this show, I guess we smoke a lot of pot, but hey, get to your stats. Don't you guys got some stat boards over there? We don't have those capabilities here. Mel Tucker, before he came to the Bears, I'm pretty sure
We have a
coached
computer
for
right
the
in front of us.
Jaguars.
Mel Tucker did coach for the Jaguars.
And we bring him over as defensive coordinator with Mark Trestman. Remember the fucking genius from the Canadian Football League? Hey,
we remember Mark Trestman, Kellen. Thank you. Of course.
Thank you for
Canada makes good hockey and good poutine fries, but you don't make fucking NFL people. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, that's true. Mel Tucker, Jacksonville Jaguars. They're
To
coordinator,
the Chicago Bears.
their interim head coach, and then right after that, in 2013 and 14, he was with the Chicago Bears. Why would we ever question you, Kellen?
I
I
can tell you why.
Hey, I'm just a fan. I don't know anything about football talent.
You should run the
Does
organization.
that sound like somebody we all know?
Oh, fellas.
Anyway, guys, great talking to you. I love you. I'm gonna have a cigarette.
All right, brother. Thank you for
Thanks for
stopping in,
joining
man.
I need a break. I'm done. This was just another embarrassment.
Hey! Since I have you here, I married you and your wife. I married
Yes,
Clark
you
and his
did.
wife. I just want to check in with you guys, make sure everything's good.
I'm still
Anybody have
married.
any problems? Okay.
I
I'm
have
still
problems.
married.
I am still married.
Sponsored by Benny's.
7.5 years in.
Patrick Small. Patrick, how are you, man?
Where's Patrick?
Offensive coordinator during Trestman was Jesus. Who was that?
It was fuck Patrick. It was
Was the guy from the Rams?
no come on
Offensive
now.
coordinator
Help me
before
out
who?
here.
Yeah, it was the guy from the Rams, Marty.
It was,
Yeah, no, it wasn't Marty Schottenheimer.
No, it wasn't Marty. It was the
Mark,
other guy.
Cutler
Martz.
said, "Fuck him,
Martz.
fuck himself." Yeah, that was it.
No, it wasn't Mike Martz, was it?
It was but Martz was there for part of it for sure.
No, he wasn't. No,
OSHA?
it was
Uh-oh, hang on a minute. This just in. Patrick's there as well. You also were part of that ceremony as well. So we've got to.
I'm 3 for 3.
He
You
said,
Did we get Patrick in?
"Yeah, I don't know. I've been waiting. He's not in the green room yet. Maybe he's not. Maybe he's not.
Patrick, get the fuck on.
Yeah. You go smoke your cigarette.
Well, no, now Patrick's coming on. I can hold off.
No,
Tell Martz I said fuck you.
yeah, we'll bring you back if Patrick joins. How about that? I don't know.
Yeah.
Go smoke your cigarette. You can come back when it happens.
Well,
Gentlemen,
hang out
coming-
with Casey, go for it.
I've said 3 words since you started.
That's your
talking,
own problem.
So I don't.
Casey, you've got your show coming out. I want to plug that. Where can they find it? Today's show or tomorrow's show?
Today's show will be out tomorrow. Kellen's in charge of producing that one, so we'll see it in a couple days.
Okay.
You know, I'm a master of yes and.
Yeah.
Wish he was. But what a pleasure. How you guys doing? How's everything?
Casey
I
laser
love it.
beams, baby.
Laser fingers, remember that?
Laser fingers.
How are y'all? What's on the agenda for the show today? What are you guys talking about?
Well, we talked. Clark almost won 10 grand. I don't know if you saw that. And then he
I did.
lost it last second. He broke and came so
So
close.
when you almost win 10 grand, is it like you never were even close to 10 grand?
Yeah, it just evaporates.
Almost like it never happened, right?
Aaron Cromer, guys. That came from Wilson and CJ. Yeah, it's like it's gone. You're already starting to think about what you'll spend it on if that money's there.
Yeah.
I told him earlier, I'm getting a new kitchen floor. I'm going to fly somewhere.
You're
I'm
such a
flying-
dad.
like, I was going to book the Dallas trip for the Bears next year. They're playing in Dallas. I was ready to book it.
And that's the trip you would take?
Go watch the Bears in Dallas. Yeah, I want to see Jerry World. A buddy of mine moved down there just before the pandemic. I still don't know if he has friends. I don't know.
Why would you not even think of a hot tub?
Hell, I'd get your ticket for it too.
I think Al and I are on the same page. If I had 10 grand, I think we'd both get a hot tub.
I would put a hot in the attic. I don't even have room for it. It'd just be in the middle of the kitchen.
I rent a garden unit in Chicago, and I would definitely find a place for a hot tub.
Guys, we once did a podcast from a hot tub. Just the three of us. The other guys wouldn't show up.
And that was very life-threatening, actually.
Back on the old Comedy Accident podcast. If you search for Comedy Accident, Pod Accident out there, you might still find some remnants out on the internet of that.
Live from the hot tub.
Live from what the hell? High Tops, the bar, when it was down on Lincoln.
We used to do it at High Tops, and
some pretty great guests there.
We really did have some good shit going. I love how we got so good at what we did, and then we just stopped.
Well, we're gonna be doing a show at the Wiener Circle soon, and we'd love to have you guys out for that.
Are you really doing that?
Yeah.
I would love to. I would love to join that one.
We had kind of started getting ready to book it, and then both of us got some COVID, and we couldn't leave the damn house and all that shit. So we'll get back there. We'll get back there really quick.
You know, Kevin's patient 0 for COVID.
Guys,
doesn't shock me.
You know what, Case? I'm going to go ahead and keep you on the line. I'm going to go over to the Joseph's Finest Meats hotline. Joseph's Finest Meats on Addison, over there by Harlem in the Dunning neighborhood. Best meat shop around. Larcher, am I right?
Did I do that?
Unbelievable. I mean, the stuffed chops, the steaks, the sausage with the Vidalia onion already inside, 100%.
Yeah. So let's go on over to that hotline, and we're going to go there and join us live.
Is this working?
Yeah, there he is.
I don't even know if my audio is working, man.
It's working.
Welcome to the show, bud.
How are you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Man. How you guys been?
Well, I'm beering down.
That's I have a little addition to the small clan here.
What?
Grab 'em real quick.
Oh.
Yeah, a little pupperoo.
Oh my God, what's his name?
This is Ravioli.
No shit,
dude.
Yeah, I keep it stuffed. That's why I call him Ravioli.
You wop.
Wet ass pussy,
guys. I hear you're talking some Bears.
Trying to.
Sad. How sad is that?
Oh, it's
very depressing show.
Very depressing.
Hey, at least we got rid of that coach.
He was terrible.
I don't say his name anymore.
And the GM.
I feel terrible. I championed him for a couple years.
We'll just call him the N-word.
Yeah, I won't say the N-word. I refuse.
Yeah, it's finally time that we stop saying
is this
the
old
N-word.
motherfucker on?
Yeah.
Did he?
Patrick, holy shit! Look at you,
what's up, my guy?
What's up?
He just called you baby.
Yeah.
Patrick.
Do we have a Maury episode brewing here?
I'm sorry. Could you say that again? I missed it. There was
Bye, Val.
Do we have a Maury episode brewing?
This just in, Kellen. You are not.
What?
You are not the owner of the Chicago Bears.
You're not
100%.
I should be the father. If that girl would ever want anything better to do with her life than lose, I would be the father.
This question I'm about to ask is not sports related. When's the last time you think you had a sperm inside of you?
Oh, they're swimming around. It's like a koi pond down there.
Did I spell comedy? Did I spell reunion wrong? Is that what I did there? That's a comedy. We'll leave that up. Hey,
it's a koi pond, babe. Hey, and it's a koi pond in the Gaylord. Pond. No, the Gaylord Hotel. It's a koi pond. I mean,
so, Patrick,
flush, ripe with seeds.
Patrick, you have ravioli. I also just got a dog.
Did you?
I did.
Hey, Patrick, let me see your dog.
Hold on, I gotta find it.
Gotta go back.
Where's Ravioli?
You gotta find it.
Here we go.
What is this? Fucking bingo?
Look at Ravioli.
Man,
this is Banjo.
Hey, did come over?
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he's no balls, but all bark.
The people in the chat room are like, "What the hell is going on right now?"
Yeah, there's no sports being. Let's talk about some sports.
Well, really, do you know what kind of pup is Ravioli?
That's an interesting question. So he
looks like a
booty dog. That's what they're called. he's a boonie dog. So he's from Guam.
What?
And what it is during World War II, when Japan took over Guam, the United States military, they needed a way to be able to find the Japanese in the tunnels and the little small areas in Guam. So they bred and brought over these dogs. They're like small Doberman.
Put him on again.
They're like small Doberman pinchers. Swear to God.
Put him
But they're
on
also,
again.
there's
I've
a
already
Jack Russell
forgotten.
Terrier in them. There's
I just
Basenji.
fell asleep.
There's Basenji.
Yeah. There
But
it
yeah,
is.
there you go.
And there's ravioli.
Just he's not bullshitting there.
No, that
Yeah,
booty
see,
dog.
there you go. See?
My dog.
Goddamn. Hey.
Clark, did you think he was making up stories about dogs? Like he had this whole backstory upbuilt.
Do you have papers for that dog?
How great would it be though if I was like making up this whole thing? Yeah, he's from World War II.
That'd have been amazing. That's why I was thinking. I was
I
like,
thought you were.
hey, Patrick, for a minute, I thought you were Ken Burns giving us a documentary.
Oh yeah. I was gonna have the black and white photography up on screen.
There they were, shuffling through the trenches.
So Clark,
Kicking up dirt.
Clark,
We went from three listeners to one listener.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. We're doing it. No, go ahead.
You're the host. Do you want to talk about some sports?
What kind of
Hey, how
sport?
about we talk about some Bulls, huh?
The Bulls,
They're
exactly.
playing right now
Bulls.
against the Pistons, and I'm telling you, they're gonna win again.
I was excited to bring you on tonight, Patrick, to discuss the Chicago Bulls. Back in the 90s,
It's finally looking promising again. As a Chicago sports fan, as a Bulls fan,
go ahead.
Diehard Bulls fan, Patrick is.
Yeah.
Die hard.
finally, we have something to live for again.
How excited are you that they put together that talent in such a short period of time?
It's amazing, and you know,
But it wasn't a short period of time.
Honestly, it was. They had like a year to build that, and it's a wonderful thing.
No, you just got rid of guard packs and finally got competent people like the Bears should do.
And now we got Kevin Small chiming in with the WNBA.
Page from a winning book. Follow what the Bulls are doing, Chicago Bears.
Yeah, thank you. That's a direct statement. Do what the Bulls are doing.
Who's your favorite player on the Bulls right now, Patrick?
That's hard. Like I really like Io. I think he's going to be a really good
Yes, thank you, baby.
He's just young. You know, he needs a little bit more time.
Wow, you don't know shit.
Let people talk.
But I mean, if I had to say why are they winning right now, DeMar DeRozan is such a leader for that team.
Yeah,
he's such a leader for that team.
Now I got it. Hey, but guess what? Patrick, remember he's a bust.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's what I wanted to ask Patrick. When during the offseason free agency happened, Lonzo kind of fell to the Bulls, which he was way better than I ever expected. When they got it together, what were your thoughts at the time compared to now? Because I was fairly optimistic. I wasn't looking for them to be contenders, and I still don't know what they are, but they're better than I had expected.
They're a championship built team, Clark.
Yeah, they are. I mean, here's the thing. They
Hang on,
can
Patrick,
win
what
it.
do you think of this?
If it's the right day.
back. Patrick, what were your thoughts then compared to now?
Wait, say that again.
What were your thoughts when they grabbed him?
Lonzo?
When they assembled their team before the season, what were your thoughts?
The biggest mistake. I don't like Lonzo Ball. I don't think he's much of a point guard. I get statistically he's good. He's a good guy for your team. He makes big plays when you need him to, which it's always great to have a guy on your team who can do that. But I'm just not a big fan of Lonzo Ball. So, I thought that was a mistake.
That's going to be a personal thing, Patrick, because you just said everything good about an NBA player, and then you said I just don't like him.
Yeah, I know. Well, again, I don't like him as a point guard. I think like he's not going to help that offense move. Like he's not the guy who's bringing the ball up the court well. Like I know he does it, but I don't want it in his hands. I want someone else. He's more of a shooter, more of a defensive player. I don't know.
What about this?
That to me was like,
I wish Patrick Williams was healthy because could you imagine?
Oh, I know. How amazing would that be?
Hawker brings up what Kobe White is actually kind of fitting into this.
White,
team.
I saw that.
Good.
He's right.
He's shooting well right now too, which helps.
Yeah, but would you trade Kobe White to get some better bench help or another big man?
I honestly wouldn't change the Bulls right now.
Yeah, I mean, what they need is another big man.
Yes, they need a true big man. Hey, so think about this. Like, this is really fucking,
Shaquille O'Neal.
No, let's think because who's going to really come out and fuck off, Al? You just love those sound effects.
It reminds me of
Al, what was that Top Shot card that we got last year on the Bulls? Thaddeus, right?
Yeah, that lost me, but you still owe me for half that card.
All right. I told him buy it. It was like what, $100 or something?
Here's the situation I would like to see. What if Kofi Cockburn drops down? Because
wait, what's his name?
Kofi
Coburn.
Yeah, what's his last name?
Cockburn, baby.
In honor of James, can you please just say it slower and seductively?
It's a
burn. For James, he would say, it's a what burn?
Yeah, right.
It's
the last time I saw James, guys, we went to a Chicago Bulls game and the Philadelphia 76ers, and Zach LaVine hit a game winner with like 1 point.
Yeah, I was there with you.
It was unreal. No, you weren't.
Last time when James,
hey, do you guys have feelings?
When James died, his sister called me from his number, and I answered the phone. I said, "What? You're still alive?" And she goes, no, he's not. And I was like, okay, hold up. And then it completely changed my day and my conversation.
The dynamic changed.
Yeah, but what a wonderful person James was.
For those, we're coming up on his year anniversary, right?
Yeah. Hey, and for those that probably are listening. If anyone's listening,
they're all talking. They're saying like, "Kellen, shut up." See,
no one. Hey, Maury determined that's a lie. I don't know, because he tells the truth. Yeah. Just like McCaskey.
Well,
thank you. The one good sound effect Al's done all night.
Patrick, I'm sorry you joined us, Al. I thought this would be fun for us. I'm sorry I did this to us tonight.
Yeah, it's been wonderful. It's nice. It's a reunion. Who doesn't love a good reunion?
I some people don't. Holocaust survivors, for one.
There we go. There you jumped the shark. There you are.
Comedy is no accident, by the way. So
he was.
Yeah, I was.
He was a fucking accident.
That's right. So we love the Bulls. What else? Wrestling? You guys talk about wrestling, right? I don't know anything about wrestling.
We discussed some DraftKings, some wrestling. Al, last week was. Do you remember when Al was 4 years ago to watch Wrestle Kingdom? That happened.
That's right. Patrick was with me at Wrestle Kingdom.
Right.
We were down in Japan. Ringing in the new year.
I love how you say it like we were just down in Japan.
How was Japan?
We just took a little jot over to Japan.
Al had a trip planned to Japan for wrestling, and then about a month before, he hit his biggest payday on DraftKings. Everything got upgraded a little bit.
Why are you obsessed with Tim the Toolman Taylor over there? I just don't understand.
Because my soundboard is from when I was in radio, and I was in radio 20 years ago.
Did I do that?
You gotta update your shit, Al.
I don't think so, Al. Al, what was your jackpot when you won that? You made some money.
Well, last year I took down one for $15,000, and then a couple years ago I won $7,000. Then a week later I won like another $7,000.
Hey, how many protective phone cases did you just jerk off on that night when you won that $15,000?
Well, then,
quite a few.
There's a question.
He got himself.
I would have been real happy. Clark, why don't you tell everybody about the bet you missed out on because of the Chargers?
Why are you yelling at them?
We were talking about it just before we brought you on, Kellen.
You've got emotional problems, man.
2 nights ago, Pat.
It's fragile. It's very fragile.
It ties the room together. What almost tied the room together was about $10,500 that I would have won if the Jaguars beat the Colts and the Chargers and Raiders finished in a tie.
Yes, but you didn't win, right?
No, I didn't.
But it came down to the last play.
Timeout.
I almost won $1 million, but I just didn't buy that lottery ticket.
No, that's not how this works at all, though. Like, literally, why does he call the timeout? Why do you not get yourself to the playoffs? I mean, it's that simple.
I've heard people saying that the Raiders were playing to win that because they didn't.
Bullshit, they're playing nutshot football.
Al, what do you think of the way they were playing there at the end? I mean, they certainly
nutshot
were letting the
football.
clock run.
I think they were going to run the clock out and take the tie because just based on the safety of the play, it was the most logical thing to do. Like, there was a strategic reason to do it. And they took that time out, and I think they kind of pissed that coach off. And then they pissed you off, Clark, because they cost you $10,000. $10,000, brother, all because of one coach's timeout. We're going to hunt that man down.
Hey,
and yell at him in a hotel lobby.
10,500.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm always here.
Do you think he was texting Matt Nagy?
Don't try to be funny. Will you meet him?
No, I don't think he was texting that Nagy.
I mean, it seems like some guy had texted to tell me to do that. Hey, don't go to the playoffs. You got to win this game when you have no chance to. So take the time.
I want to discuss something very sports-like, hats, Patrick. I wanted the one that was kind of like Clark Griswold's from Christmas Vacation. I just picked this one up the last few weeks.
I love it.
Oh, this is the worst looking hat I ever saw. When you buy a hat like this, I bet you get a free bowl of soup, huh? Oh, it looks good on you, though.
You gotta be shitting me,
Al, finally paid off.
It
finally paid off.
You finally used a good soundbite.
I've been
How long
waiting
have you been waiting to use that sound
I've been
bite,
waiting for months to use a hat sound.
That's like the diner that keeps lobster just in case. He's had that sound bite just in case.
Been waiting to use it. It's been dead for 15 years,
Yeah,
though,
right?
but it's still safe to
Appreciate it, Al.
eat.
Thank you. That was very kind.
And now I see that. There's the drop that he always plays. Casey has a hat on too, but Patrick, what's the hat? That looks solid from here. Hang on, get in there. Get in there.
It's called a boonie hat. It's
Okay,
from World War II.
Yeah, right? It's a World War II thing.
WIBC 78, 79. Is that a real
Hey,
thing?
folks, you can buy
Or is
this.
that- is that just a
credits
hat?
on what's
Wait,
that game?
hang on.
That's a real championship patch. No, I didn't win
POD.
it. I wasn't born yet. But
No,
that
but
is
did-
a real championship patch.
That championship
Placed
did
on
happen.
this hat.
That's amazing. Thank you.
Awesome.
And of course, Casey, you and Kellen are both from Decatur, Illinois.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Much respect for you wearing that hat.
Yeah, we got to represent. There's three great things that came out of Decatur. You're not one of them. The
Well,
Bears.
What I am
Me
is
and my
a
brother Clint.
shining light.
You are a shining light, and you're loud.
No, I don't know how to use these things.
You just
Hey, so I have a question for whoever's running the show. There's all these like little facts that start popping up along the bottom. What the
They
hell?
are.
Who's in charge of that?
Where's this happening?
Like
I
along
guess-
the bottom of the screen,
So,
we get these like little, like
Patrick, we're on. We're
Oh,
on.
like
yeah.
it said like
White
20 years
line?
ago,
Yeah.
time went off
Tonight-
a year,
tonight
3
you can
years
find us-
ago or something.
Tonight you can
like
find
that.
us on YouTube.
Oh,
on
Tim
Facebook
Allen got busted for selling
Hang on.
cocaine.
This is CNN.
no,
Nice.
no.
You ever
Real
heard of Too Many
news.
Cooks?
You know you're a Fox News guy, Al.
Clark runs the scroll at the bottom, and it's with the
So
Twitch
who are-
chat.
Who are
There's
these
people in
Okay.
the chat room right now on Twitch.
Who are
Okay.
these people talking to us?
This
Is it
person
you
just said,
guys?
Kellen, please stop shouting. I'm on my second
Yeah.
pair of
They-
headphones.
They are from
Holy
they're in the
cow!
Twitch chat, which is a pretty fun little
We apologize
show
for the
within the
shouting.
show going on.
Whoever Sesame
Stop yelling. You're
Seed-
still yelling.
They know us. They whoever Sesame Seed is, I'm not sure who it is, but earlier they referenced Casey in the stripper scene from comedy.
They did.
Oh,
So
well, God bless you. That
If
was
you
a fun
guys
one,
know of
Patrick.
anybody who may be Sesame Seed, that's the one there.
That video of ours had, only because it was called Stripper Reunion,
Right.
had like thousands of views, and it was just me getting naked for Patrick.
Yeah, pretty
Hey,
much.
we would have gotten 1,000 views anyway.
We
You
yeah.
be Me Too now. But anyway, look, I don't know how this shit works. I'm used to talking to people like face to face. Like I'm going to kids. I am. I actually go out and experience life. So
You do.
this fucking Zoom shit and
It's literally, like, listen, can you guys hear me?
He says no.
Hear me.
Yep. So
So you
Sesame
just talk.
Sesame Seed. Yeah, I could hear you, Casey.
Yeah,
Sesame Seed. Remember seeing it? It was for
Put the
Pat.
lotion in the basket.
that got weird.
Yep. It's a bad family Zoom, but it works. How many?
Is there such thing as a good family Zoom? MX
No.
Hawker? Is that your name?
Absolutely.
MX Hawker?
MX Hawker. What?
Hey, I'll tell you guys a true, real quick story.
Yeah, what was your weirdest Zoom during the heart of the pandemic?
Patrick, can you hear me from back here?
If you don't go farther away, you're right in front of the computer.
Oh, dude,
It's my fault. I need to have earbuds in. I can barely hear you guys from my phone.
Here's a true story. One time, Kel and I are at a bookstore, and we split up. And he's looking for his book, and I was doing that.
We're not fucking. We're brothers.
That got weird. And we both.
Why you make a boing sound?
We both come to the. Actually, I'm gonna grab the book. We both come to the checkout counter, and we both have the same book. And I'm gonna show you the book that we both picked out without knowing.
Okay.
I guess. Oh yeah, let's really scare everyone to death.
Please, mystery of music.
No, that's worse, Al.
Oh wow.
Oh, geez. Yikes.
We both go up at the checkout counter with true stories of serial killers. and I go, "You're getting that too?" He's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "I figured something good to have in the bathroom when I'm taking a dump. I'm gonna read about serial killers." And he's like, "Me too."
Did you guys live together at the time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, why would you guys just buy 2 different books and then just share?
Because we're very defiant.
No, I won't want to take home to myself. I want my own souvenir.
Yeah.
Like, how you gonna share a bobblehead?
The Mendez brothers of Decatur.
That's great. Who's that?
I don't know. Wilson
That's
for life.
amazing.
See, you're in trouble for you.
Dude, AJ's yelling at me, guys.
They can hear you down the hall, Kellen. Yeah. The neighbors are joining the show.
That's what they can't hear. My victim screams. Hey, buy my book, Serial Killers, Volume 2.
Serial Killing in Me.
I recall why we had, like, I had said earlier, I go, yeah, like 10 to 15 minutes. That's all the time we need, guys.
No, it's not. We need hours.
Months.
Tell me you guys aren't having fun.
I pay $80 an hour for therapy, man. This is better than that.
Look at this guy. He's actually paying for therapy.
I'm actually paying for therapy.
That's what I'd like to ask really quick. Actually, that's not. I am actually
about therapy.
In the process of I'm going to be calling my insurance company this week to see if I can start talking to somebody, because there's just a lot of shit that needs to get worked out.
Yeah. So, sports.
Speaking of, no, I wanted to know what was the worst Zoom that you had, like, during the pandemic? Was it the comedy accident ones that we did, or not?
I enjoyed those.
Yeah, me too.
I found meeting with you guys is very centering. For me,
the only Zooming I did was Dungeons and Dragons and Comedy Accident. So I hosted karaoke Zooming once. That was a disaster. The only people who tuned in was Clark and his wife, and they sang some shitty country song. It was horrible.
Hey, Al, when's the last time you commanded the Millennium Falcon?
What?
Falcon? The Falcon.
Yeah. When's the last time you commanded the Millennium Falcon?
Or
you and Al have the same spirit.
When I was on my way to your mother's house.
Nice. That's my mom too.
Hey, you getting no riches out of there?
What does that even mean?
That's like Mos Eisley's Tavern.
Again, I apologize to the viewers. I apologize to Al and Patrick and
Kevin Small's still waiting on WNBA talk. So I mean, let's get back to it.
Is that still going on?
No, he posted some article.
COVID killed the WNBA.
He posted some article about the Seattle Storm.
Oh, well, they're a fantastic organization.
Sue Bird is coming back for a 19th season.
Sue Bird is coming back?
And of course, as you know, Kalia Copper and
who would have thought
this guy tore it up this past season. for the big victory, and I think there's a chance to get another one. I'm going to get a 5-game package of 2 seats, so I can bring both of my daughters at a different time and go watch some Chicago Sky ball.
Yeah, that's what I can say to that, Clark. That's cool, man.
I know. Look,
Patrick's laughing at what you just said.
Hey, Patrick.
Wilson, Hawker, we'll get the disrespect here on them. It's quite all right. I
don't mean to disrespect Chicago Sky at all. To be honest, anybody that plays in that team is a much better athlete than I am. I just don't know much about it, so I can't.
I got to be honest. Like I watched,
I'm going to be honest with you. The WNBA is a lot like the NBA. They play basketball.
You're right.
Yeah.
All right. Are you being sexist against men?
It's just women.
Are you being sexist against men?
Actually, I like to think that the NBA is a lot like the WNBA.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest
except
with you.
for one letter.
And ticket prices. Ticket prices are a little different.
Ticket prices are awesome. Let me tell you this: the finals, like that basketball team played really good basketball, and that's all that I'm talking about.
Clark,
Hey, they won a fucking championship, dude.
I enjoyed watching them.
You can't take that away from any team.
It is. It's fundamental basketball.
Are you I mean, you're obviously a fan. I should get involved. I just don't know anything about it. So.
Hey, it may not be your thing, man. It's like I fucking hate NASCAR. I hate tennis.
How could you?
But I won't take anything away.
How can you hate tennis?
Players.
People hitting balls around.
What angers you about tennis?
Have you ever watched women's tennis?
Ping pong. Are you into ping pong?
Oh, fuck that. Oh, bullshit.
I really like the spin ping pong, like the guys that go crazy.
Well, I guess I like mutilation sports.
They're called
football,
Asian.
hockey.
And they're really good at it.
Jesus Christ. Here we go.
What? You said you like mutilation sports.
Yeah.
That's fucking weird
Football,
to say.
hockey. Like, guys getting their ass beat. Like, I'm sorry. That's just.
Rugby?
Not something like, I'm just not in that shit.
Are you into MMA, Cal?
No, I hate that. I hate the fighting shit. That's like, I like the sport. I like scoring the points. You're really not trying to kill people.
Sumo wrestling? Wilson wants to know sumo wrestling.
Sumo wrestling would be pretty cool. I'd put that in there. I'd go check that out. But
I could see you being a sumo wrestler.
No. Oh,
Remind me
What
again
do
of
you mean out? I'm sticking bones.
I didn't be fucking hilarious.
Remind me again of your dislike for tennis. You hate people hitting balls.
Yeah, I'm glad you got
I
that
just don't like tennis. It's ping pong's fun, like drinking. These are real people on the court hitting the ball. Like, why not just play ping pong?
Kellen. Tranquilo.
I don't. I'm just not a tennis guy. It's not for me, you know.
Well, let the neighbors know.
It's like soccer.
Let the neighbors know.
They probably all know by now, Al.
You're literally being yelled at every 5 seconds by your wife.
Well, I don't like tennis. I don't like soccer.
Just talk about how you feel.
Kellen, what if you're lined up on the other side? Just on the down low here, we'll
Kellen's in trouble.
What if you were lined up on the other side of Serena?
Oh, I'm always in trouble. Don't worry about that.
Hey,
gallery asked, what if you were lined up across from Serena Williams? Was the question.
Does Kel think he can beat Serena Williams? Kellen can't even beat off to Serena
Wait,
Williams.
you mean just like watching? Just like watching?
The endurance test players have?
Yeah, great. Hey, look, I'm not downgrading your sport at all. I'm not saying that. I appreciate what you do. Millions love it. It's like soccer. I fucking hate soccer. I hate it.
It's the most popular sport in the world. I mean,
according to some people.
What do you hate about soccer? What is the hatred? Like, I don't like baseball. I don't know if I hate baseball.
Al, you hate baseball.
You hate baseball.
All right.
Yeah, I know.
You got me.
I'm not a big fan of baseball either.
So you get to compare. This would be a good one for you, Clark.
Anna Kournikova's hot.
There's no hot soccer players. Yes, there are hot soccer players. Well, girls, but not.
There's some of the most beautiful people in the world are male soccer players.
That's true.
David Beckham, Ronaldo.
Oh, hottie. Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, tell me about it. Like, hey,
Yeah.
if I had to be gay, that'd be somebody I'd be impressed with.
What's the Bulls update here?
You know what problem I have with soccer?
28-27.
Yes. I want to hear, Patrick.
The problem I have with soccer is it can end in a fucking tie.
Yes. And it mostly does.
Just like the NFL now.
Here we go.
I like everything else about soccer except it can end in a tie. That's a joke. No game should be able to end in a tie.
No.
That's a great point.
I
No,
agree.
they
They
should.
should play till death.
But
The
nobody's
NFL does that now.
I agree
Nobody's
with that.
saying that
But
sometimes
And
a
I
tie,
believe that with the NFL too.
yeah,
But
there's
bullshit.
bullshit with the NFL.
sometimes a tie is
Throw
also
in
a
a
win.
game.
Sometimes a tie is a win. Sometimes a tie is a loss.
Tell that to your $10,500, Clark.
Yeah, yeah, it was a big loss. That's what it was. Nailed it, guys. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Like,
Well, I love you guys. But yeah, no, dude, I just don't like soccer. It's a game that always goes at front left center. We win 1-0.
Do we have to end the show at all?
Well,
Are we getting music off?
That's like
Hey, thank you,
the
Academy.
Oscars.
Thank you, God. Thank you, my mother. Good night. Thanks for this award.
You're yelling.
good night, Kellen. Good night, Casey. Thank you guys for joining.
So the show does have
Gotcha.
to end.
Well, it's gonna end for some of us.
All right, bye guys.
All right. Good seeing you, Patrick.
I love you guys.
Thanks for having
No,
me
let-
on.
I mean,
I'll
we
see
should-
you guys soon.
We could do this again without it being broadcast, and that'd be great. Thank you, Patrick.
Yeah.
Casey, thank you so much for joining, man.
My absolute pleasure. Al, I love you.
Likewise, brother.
The sound effects were beautiful. Yeah, Kel, they say good luck with the
is that what the folks are saying?
Yeah,
Oh,
Sesame
man.
Seed is dead on because she is on. Yeah, he's in trouble.
You have
And I'm
no
enjoying every
idea.
second of it.
Wait. Everyone stop talking. Everyone stop talking.
I think you have to yell at him. We won't hear you.
I just sit here in the corner.
Oh, no, we can't do this. Come on.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we can.
Thank you so much for joining.
Because it's the sports addict, and this is what happens.
It was
All right,
perfect.
guys.
It was absolutely perfect. All right, brother.
Yeah.
Take
Love
it
you
easy.
guys.
Good one, man. Yep. Later.
Talk to you soon.
Yep. Thanks for joining us there on the Joseph's Finest Meat Hotline. Of course, Joseph's Finest Meat is over there in the Dunning Hood neighborhood on Addison, over there almost to Western. So it's just east of Western over there. Wow. There it is.
It was quite a series of guests, Clark. You said you might have some surprises tonight, and
Well, Al, I thought you might want some surprises. I asked a few others. They weren't available. You know, Olin Kreutz wasn't available.
we need to start getting on more Twitter guests. Like, I want to hit up the guy who takes the pictures of the beaches in the morning.
It was very nice to have those guys on, by the way. That was awesome.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, guys.
That
Appreciate
was
that.
fucking phenomenal. But who are you looking for? The guys from Twitter? Like which one?
Yeah, like remember when we once said we had the tweeting cab driver on? We need to get more of those people on. You know, there's a guy who takes pictures of the beach every morning.
Yeah, there's a guy who jumps into the lake every day.
Yeah, that guy. We'll
Every
get
day.
the.
He's been doing it for 2 years. We could probably get him on the show.
Yeah, we'll tweet him. We'll see if he'll come on. You know, and we'll.
I liked
nice.
last week when we had a guy on who had an issue with the Yahoo scoring.
That was great.
The kitchen manager from Tulsa, Oklahoma. That was great. That was fantastic.
Who doesn't actually gamble?
No, it was a free league. That's
a free league, yeah.
It's fine, but it's pretty awesome. Like we agreed with him. Everything was good, and I had agreed with him. That's why I brought him on the damn show. But yeah. If you want to join in, 760-454-8834, 760-454-8834. We'll go for a bit more here. We can probably talk a little bit about how did DraftKings end up for you, Larcher?
Oh, I lost a lot of money this week.
Ooh.
I decided to do 2 single entry in the $150 game. You know, it's about 5,000 entries. Top prize is $100,000. I was doing fine up until about the third quarter, and then it all like just started falling apart. And I played I believe it was an Andy. I know I played an Andy Dalton stack and a Tannehill stack. Felt like those were the two games. Andy Dalton gave me a lot of value because he didn't cost much. I unfortunately played Allen Robinson thinking like, okay, this is the game he's going to show off for the free market, for the free agency, for the market. And, that bit me. The Tannehill stack was okay. It was just missing some pieces. So it wasn't a good week. It wasn't a good week.
Yeah. Mine wasn't great either. I came out with less than 50% of what I put out there. I went with like a Murray stack. I went with a no, what was the big game? The big game of the week with the highest scoring. What was that supposed to be?
I don't remember. Carolina, the Rams and the 49ers?
Yeah. I went with both of those. I went with both Stafford and what happened was I had a Trey Lance one going. I didn't think Garoppolo was going to play. And then it got down to so last minute, I didn't have enough chance to really change my lineup other than swap Garoppolo in for Trey Lance, which I don't think was the worst play in the world. So I ended up with quite a bit of Garoppolo. And that was one of my issues. Yeah, hang on. I'm sorry. I wasn't ready.
My top team put up 174 points, which isn't great. It was a Russ Wilson, Rashard Penny, Tyler Lockett for Seattle, and the run back was AJ Green, who only put up 6. And so that was my dud. Was the stack worked? Russell Wilson puts up 26. Rashard Penny puts up 28. Tyler Lockett puts up 27. Yeah. So I'm hitting a home run on that side of the stack. Run back AJ Green, who had some contract incentives, he puts up 6 points. I bought Odell Beckham for the LA San Francisco game to get a little equity on the highest point total on the board. Odell Beckham puts up 3 points. Everything else works out. I played Daryl Singletary at running back against the Jets. He puts up 25 points. I played Marvin Jones from the Jaguars against the Colts. He puts up 21 points. I played Ron Gronkowski as my tight end, putting up 23 points. I usually don't spend up at tight end. So that was a little something there, a little treat for myself. And then I got 13 points out of the Pittsburgh defense. So it had potential, but 2 big duds, AJ Green and Odell Beckham, 2 guys who had potential to have good games as a third wide receiver, failed me. And they weren't cheap. Odell Beckham was $5.8 thousand, which, pretty much says he should put up about 15 points. AJ Green was 5.4. So he's another guy who I needed at least 15 points from. And that was realistic within their range of outcomes. So meanwhile, Darnell Mooney at 5.9 put up 27 points. So that was the pivot there.
Yeah, Grayson got knocked out early. That beat one of my stacks up pretty good. But I did the Kyler with AJ Green, so that cost me a bit. And I was running it back with Lockett, so my run back did fine on that one. But this team I'm looking at, it only put up 104 fucking points. Grayson got knocked out early for Tampa. Montgomery didn't really show up at all. Mitchell, San Francisco, of course, he didn't show up as I had expected.
Yeah, 9.9 points out of David Montgomery. At 6.8, he was projected to have a really big game. He was like the 3rd highest ceiling running back on the week. A lot of people made that mistake. That's another example of the chalk failing. He was the chalk. He was played running back. Avoid the chalk. But, it made a lot of sense, his price point and possibility.
So, in your Rainmaker League, last week you mentioned that I'm doing something terrible for the league. I have run everybody off. Nobody wants to play.
Yeah, no one wants to play anymore.
The last 3 weeks, we went from 6 players 3 weeks ago to last week, 6 players. And then this past week was only 5. So you're exactly right there. What would you like me to do next year? Should I tank? Should I just not be as great as I am at it? Or do I need to be a better friend to everybody in the league and just discuss what I'm doing?
Well, I mean, the point of the Rainmaker was to be a place dudes weren't necessarily spiking the ball on each other, but rather they were helping and lifting each other and teaching each other the techniques that are working for them. And I will say, you don't offer anything in that regard. You know, you keep everything to yourself, and you don't really you help anybody. But no, I mean, at the end of the day, it's gambling, and you're putting $5 on the line. And the point is to win. The point is to dominate. I mean, I've been the clear leader for the last 2-3 years now. And this year I got stomped. You took over. I think you're about our averages have finally met up, and you're a very good cash player. And Ed had a big week this week. He took 6th in a single entry.
Oh, that's great.
Where first place paid out $100,000. I think it was like a $20 game over on FanDuel. He's getting really good at single entry tournaments. I'm the king of mass tournaments. You're doing good with cash. So if we could get our team together and work as a team, I think we could make some money collective as opposed to individually.
I'm in on that. I like that a lot. And I think last week I let you in on a few things that I hadn't before. I just didn't realize I wasn't doing it. I didn't realize that I hadn't been sharing. Last week I shared the podcast that I listened to, the Fantasy Footballers, their DFS show. And then I just take what you've taught me. I don't know too much else. I think I just got damn lucky in that league.
Yeah, that's possible. I mean, it's possible you just went on a streak and your time hit, and that's good. I mean, I'm glad it was one of us.
Yeah.
So
the update is I am now averaging 154.5 points, and you are averaging 154 points. Each of us with 54 contests played.
So what? You just want to hurt my feelings. You just want to spike the ball again.
No, not looking to spike it. Just bringing it up. You just asked. You said, "Do you think they're?" You think?
Listen, there's a playoff game this week, and you know what? Maybe you and I should just go head to head. You want to go to head to head? I'll do a fucking head to head game with you this week.
I do want to go head to head.
Good. It's on. You'll be getting an invite.
Done. Absolutely done. That'll work. 760-454-8834. We'll open up the phone lines for sure now. If you were on hold earlier, we do apologize for that.
Projected so back to chalk, because I always love preaching. Ownership projection. Here are the top 3 projected ownerships at running back this week and what they did. Number 1, 25% of the field was projected to play Deontay Foreman. I myself played him at 43%, so I didn't take my own advice here, and he puts up 9.4 points. The second chalkiest player at 22.4% in the field. I played him at 31%. Again, didn't listen to my own advice. Puts up 9.9 points. That's David Montgomery. Jonathan Taylor, 21.5% of the field playing him. The highest priced running back by a mile at 9,300. I played him at 6%. The field played him at 21.5. He puts up 12 points. So, just again, the chalk fails. There is an example, though, right in that same ownership range. Devin Singletary at 21% ownership and James Conner at 21% ownerships. Singletary puts up 25 points. Conner puts up 27 points. So if you faded the top 3 projected ownerships, you actually would have been doing pretty well. You do have to eat some chalk, though. It's impossible not to.
Right. I get that. Sorry, Casey just figured out that he has a Twitch and he joined.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. He's there. Technology, not his best friend, but there he is.
Uncle Oogles over here.
Uncle Cleo Eagle. Yeah, 84. Really close to 1983. I had a lot of questions that I was going to ask you about the Bears. And I think we covered them all with everybody there. Did we not?
Yeah, I mean, I think everything's been covered. I don't know what to say. We could sit down and break down every candidate and try to pick the best one, but at the end of the day, we don't have a say in the matter. So, I mean, it seems tedious. It seems like we're just hoping or playing. I've made my case for Brian Dable, and I hope he is the Bears' pick, but. We'll see. Maybe next week we'll either have a head coach and we'll then examine exactly who we got, or maybe we'll have some finalists, and then at that point we could really look at their profiles and see which one of those guys we want. So I think that'll be fun next week. But right now there's just too many names, and it's just guessing. Like Casey said, I mean, we don't know who these people are. We don't know what they could do as head coach, besides those who've done it. And even then, there's always an excuse. There's always a reason. That's why head coaches get multiple jobs. I mean,
it always seems to just fall apart with the Bears. Like it just seems to. So much hope for Nagy. Hell, so much hope for Trestman back in the day. It just has that feeling of it's just going to fall apart. I will say when the coaching search comes up and in the GM search here, Brian Flores getting cut over there really kind of did intrigue me. Nobody was really expecting that, and it seems like he might be number one out there. We're going to go to a call here in a second, by the way. Did that perk your ears up? Did the Giants firing Judge today, does that put us behind a little bit when it comes to this?
I don't think so. I think unless you think the Bears are an absolute joke of an organization and you don't want to work for them, I think we have a lot of positives. I mean, are you going to take that Giants job? You have no wide receivers. You have no quarterback. You have an aging running back.
You've got 2 picks in the top 10.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so, you do have an ability to build there. But you're in the most criticized job market out there. It's just I don't think it's all that appealing as a head coach. Where with Chicago, you at least know you have. If you think Justin Fields is legit, and a lot of smart football coaches and football minds think Justin Fields is the real deal. You have the guy. You know what you're getting into, and you could try to make it happen. And so I think if I'm a coach, the Bears are appealing. I think they're the most appealing of all the teams that have vacancies right now, with the exception of maybe the Denver Broncos, because if the rumors are true, they're just going to go ahead and get Aaron Rodgers. And I would love to just kind of take a Super Bowl ring or have a chance at a Super Bowl ring immediately. But that seems like a job. That seems like a perfect place for a veteran head coach to step in. That seems like a place for like a Leslie Frazier to go.
Sure. Okay. You're still on Dable, and I'm down with that.
I like a lot of people have I'm not as strong on Dable as I once was. Early in the season I was full head, but I've looked at some of his track record, and the end of the season was a little rough, and there's question marks. But there's question marks with every single coaching candidate, and I'm willing to stand by the guy unless I could be convinced of a better option.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Hey, let's go to a call real quick. Maybe they have some ideas on the Chicago Bears. It is a local number here. We're going to go to the 708. 708, what's your name? Where are you calling from on the Joseph's Finest Meat hotline?
Sports Attic, what's going on, boys? It's Chris in Lockport. How you doing?
Chris,
weather.
Good to hear from you. First time caller, if I believe. What's on your mind tonight?
First time caller. Man, that press conference was so damn defeating. I was preparing myself for Ryan Pace to still be here, and it was against everything that I thought should happen. But the moment McCaskey started speaking, his second sentence was the downfall of that press conference. Ted is here with me, and then everything else is like literally the Titanic. Iceberg's dead ahead, and we're not even going to miss it. We're going to ram straight into the damn thing and sink all of the goodwill.
Yeah. I completely missed the press conference, but I've heard the bits and pieces, And as you're saying, it's depressing because it feels like it's more of the same.
It does, except for, I mean, I understand that. I appreciate the McCaskey saying we don't know football, we don't know who we should hire, so we're bringing in smart people to to help our weaknesses and identify strengths. I don't think without Bill Polian, you don't see the impressive list that you do for GM and for head coach. Bill Polian, maybe 80 years old, he may be living in the same coffin right next to Virginia that they just pull out on a regular basis for him to do his TV hits and then put him back. But he's got legitimate skins on the wall. He's got rings. He has pedigree and resume. So I'm not going to hate on the Bears for saying, you know what, we're not good at this. We don't know what we're looking for. We're going to go out and find somebody who McCaskey has, some more history with now because of the cultural inclusion stuff that he was repping for the NFL, and say, hey, come help us figure this out. And quite honestly, as bad as that press conference was, Clark, I know you said it earlier today on the show, I feel better today seeing the list of names that are coming in for interviews. Like, that's a legitimate list of candidates who might have a shot, have an idea of being, if they're not the head coach, then maybe they're the new OC or DC, and you never know, right?
Yeah. I mean, the list has made me happy, as I mentioned earlier, but still, there's still that feeling of this football decision is going to come down to the guy who says that he's not a talent.
And let me say this. One, with his age, you're right. He brings a wealth of experience. And I wish I could crap on it more, but I can't because you're right. He is a solid pick. But my issue is I would love for a good football mind to have a list and bring it to Polian and say, here's our list. What do you think of these guys? Who do you think the best option is? Instead of saying, hey, why don't you give us a list and then we're going to help find somebody off it. And then as far as the list of names, I agree. They've all been good. You got Bowles, Hackett, Dable, Frazier, Peterson. They're all Leftwich, the flavor of the month. They're all good names, but these are all Zoom calls with the Bears. That's all this list of names means.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, the list of names, but the list of names out there is, well, let's go back to Emory. Emory gets his first bite after the apple after he lets go of Lovie Smith at a 10-6 season, right? And all of a sudden, you know what? I found my guy. It's Mark Trestman, who, by the way, is up in the UFL winning championships. We don't see that head-scratching interview name on this list. Everybody makes sense. Everybody has a purpose. Everybody has a pedigree where you could be like, that may be your next head coach. Now, of course, you don't know until they have the clipboard, but at the same time, I'm not scratching my head going, why the hell is this guy getting an interview? It should be Clark, or it should be Al, or it should be Cal, who's getting yelled at by his wife right now, like a McCaskey.
Polian, there really isn't. What happens if this doesn't work out? Like, to Polian, there's really nothing to lose for him here, other than cementing his legacy, maybe. But what accountability is there for him if it doesn't work out? He's not a member of the organization. He doesn't have a job. That's why I guess I would have preferred more of a football position, like the football operations president.
But it could become. I mean, the opposite side is it could become the Polian Consulting Company, because I mean he's got two kids, right? So if all of a sudden Polian's now consulting for NFL teams to find coaches, and he puts the Bears with a GM and a head coach, or helps them identify a GM and a head coach that turns this franchise into a perpetual winner, whatever his consulting fee is now, add a zero behind it, almost easily.
Okay, yeah, fair.
But I mean, the same could be said when we went and got Ernie Costas or whatever the guy we robbed money from. Look, I mean, the Bears when they want to order pizza for the organization, when they're having a pizza party at Hellas Hall, they all get together and they go, well, what should we get on our toppings? And they can't decide, so they call up some guy and they pay that guy, $200 to tell him what kind of pizza to order. This is the same pattern that we've gone through. That led us to Nagy.
But Al, every business does this. I mean, every business brings in people because there are blind spots. Consulting is a multi-billion-dollar industry, and literally, your job is to go in there and tell people to maybe do this, maybe you don't. You walk out the door, and if they do it, you're not held responsible for the outcome. You're just there to give your opinion. They're professional opinion givers.
Right.
Sure. Yeah. Chris, we do appreciate your call tonight. We've actually got more phone calls tonight, which is amazing. It's awesome. Thanks for chiming in for the first time. I appreciate it.
Yeah, Chris, good thoughts. And appreciate the call. And you're right. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not upset that they've hired a consultant, but it feels more like it's a consultant to tell them what to do as opposed to look at what they're doing and give them advice or tips.
Yep. I'm with you there. That was Chris on the Joseph's Finest Meats hotline. Thanks so much.
Oh, is that Wilson? Was that Wilson for life?
That's Wilson from the Twitch. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that guy's funny. He's full of jokes in the chat. One of the better jokesters.
Yeah, I'm having that usual audio issue that sometimes happens after we go to the damn phones, and I'll try to get to the bottom of it here as we get moving. Let's go to the caller in the 312. Caller 312. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Gentlemen, this is Elijah from Tomball, Texas. How y'all doing?
What's up, Texas?
No, just chilling, man. How are you?
Elijah, great to hear from you again. What's on your mind tonight? I can only imagine. Have you been listening to the show?
Well, R.I.P. to Kel's buzz there. So, may it come back again soon.
All right, hang on, Al. Could you talk to Elijah for a second? I want to try to fix this.
Well, the problem is I can't. Well, okay, actually, it's gone. It's fixed now, Clark.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. Like legit.
All right, fine. I'm good.
Because if you threw it to me when we were having the problem, I wouldn't be able to talk because I keep hearing myself and it throws me off.
Hello?
Yeah, what's up?
Yes.
This is when the show's gotten really good.
I won't quit on you.
Thank you. But now I can hardly.
Matt Nagy's teammates don't quit on him.
Yeah. Everything's fine with the audio? Or it seems like you and Elijah are both pausing here because is there an issue?
I hear no issue right now. Oh, now I'm back. Now I'm back to double L.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. This is when the sports addict gets really good. This is well into the second hour. After 8 o'clock, that's when we really hit our stride. Elijah?
Yes, sir.
Are you ready for this Bears? Are you glad that it's over? Are you happy that we have the next thing to look forward to? Possibly getting lucky with a head coach and a GM?
Yes, sir. I have thoughts on it.
Hang on a second, Elijah, real quick. I see Casey and Al are texting each other because they're laughing at their text. They're on a side fucking text. This is bullshit. I
just put something in the Twitch.
I don't appreciate.
We're twitching.
Okay, all right, fine. All right, Elijah, back. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
And now it's working again. Now I'm not hearing myself.
Hey, all good. So one thing I wanted to ask you guys was, do you think Matt Nagy treating the Minnesota Vikings game like a Madden game, going for it on fourth and whatnot, was that a double middle finger to, hey, I'm going to do what the hell I want, tough shit, or as he puts on his little board there, be who you are, wherever that bullshit saying is, or was it just me that thought that?
Man, we did. I can't talk. All right, hold on. I'm just gonna turn my headphones off, so I can't hear what anyone's saying right now. So you're just gonna have to listen to me, and then I'll turn my volume back up as soon as I'm done speaking. I can't even hear Clark laughing. We didn't even talk about how bad the coaching was in that last game with those 4th and 1 plays where he just runs up the middle, or he should have ran up the middle, and instead he goes for a passing play. It was ugly. I mean, the whole thing was ugly. And I don't know if it was a middle finger or not. I think he's just a bad coach. And I actually like going for it and being aggressive on 4th and 1. But, like, where was that all year? And run the damn ball.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, my point exactly. If you're gonna go for it on 4th and 1, you might as well even do like a good play call. But to me, I mean, would he have done that if it was a midseason game? Probably not. But I think he knew he was out and got word of it, and he just said, you know what, I'm going to treat it like Madden, and I'm going to have fun and do what I wanted. It ultimately made him look even worse in the end, is my opinion.
Yeah.
But, okay.
I'd have to say
with the whole,
I'm pretty much with you on that. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, please, Clark, go ahead.
No,
that last game.
I'm pretty much right there with you. But right now, the game went out just as expected. The 4th and 1 calls, unbelievable. Just give David Montgomery the ball. The announcers, everybody walking home, everybody in the stadium, everybody on the other team, everybody on the Bears team thought they should have ran the damn ball. Just run the damn ball. You're nagging your way out. But now I'm excited for the future. I am optimistic after today because I think that one of the coaches that they get in here can be good. And let's see if we have a quarterback or not. That's where I am.
You know, to dovetail onto Wilson and his conversation that he had with you, I thought it was good. He brought up some good points. And while I feel like it's okay to have a consultant, what has this guy been watching his entire life? You would think after watching so many years of football and being inheriting being in the locker room and talking to coaches and other GMs and what they think, and he says, "Oh, I'm in the locker room all the time and I talk to the coaches all the time." You think you have a better idea of what would take for a football person instead of purchasing this consultant, which I'm afraid is going to be like Ernie, and we're this person's going to sail up to the sunset. And we're stuck with garbage again for another 7-8 years.
Yeah, it's smart people. It's not like the president, at the end of the day, you want the president of the United States to make a decision that's best for the country. After he listens to the military and he hears what the experts have to say in this regard, he listens to, political operatives and what this means and why this needs to happen. But at the end of the day, the guy has to make the decision. And I just don't trust that they're going to make the good decision based on the list. If you trust one person to give you a list of something, you're trusting them to make all the right decisions and go off that list. So I don't know.
Yep. Yeah, when somebody hands me a list, I think it's an exhaustive list, and I should pick from this because this is the best that there is. But he should have some kind of knowledge of, oh, this is the person I'm looking at, or this is the person I'm considering. What do you think of it? The fact that he can't even pull that together is worrisome, but it ain't going to change.
No, I don't see it changing much at all. The structure of the board of presidents. I do think there's so many people with a hand in that basket. I just looked and like one of the part owners, 2 guys own like I think it's a 20% stake that aren't McCaskey's. They're like the only 2 guys on there besides Phillips on the Chicago board of trustees that George keeps referencing. And one of them founded Aon, like the Aon centers here in town, Aon Insurance. One of them's the founder there. And it's Ryan. Ryan's the last name of one of the guys. So that's like Shirley Ryan Ability Lab, the big post hospital stay place downtown. Ryan Field, Welsh Ryan Arena up at Northwestern. Those guys, they're some of the part owners of the team. Right now, I think there's so many McCaskies involved as well with their hand in it. everything seems like they're going to be Pat Ryan. That's it. The big Northwestern grad. Everything in on it seems like they're likely going to sell this team, and everybody thinks it's going to happen when Virginia passes away. What kind of change do we get then? What happens then? Does Bezos finally get an NFL team that he wants? And is it the Bears? Does the NFL let him in? I don't know what comes after this incompetence.
It's an interesting point. I don't think that they will sell it. I think if they weren't allowed to go to Arlington Heights and put up the booking where you can do the sports bets, then they would have walked. But the fact that they got that, they're going to have money coming in hand over fist.
Yeah, this is their business. They don't have. They're not owners of industry. They're owners of a football team, and that's it. This is their income.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. Which don't
it's a cash cow.
You get the feeling they look more at it as a bit like the Chicago Tribune owning the Cubs. Al, I think you mentioned that to me. Do they look at more as a business venture now than it is having a winning franchise, or wouldn't a winning franchise help them be more profitable? Like I don't.
100%. A winning Bears team is going to bring you in a lot more money than a losing Bears team.
One would think. One would absolutely think on that. I don't know, Elijah.
In the investment.
Oh, go ahead.
The investment that they're making wouldn't be any more than what they're currently putting in right now. I mean, it's not like the Cubs for the Tribune, where they would spend no money, get a decent player, and then auction them off. Because the Tribune didn't care about winning. You put somebody in, Ricketts, and now you have a person who's interested and invested in winning because he comes up as a fan and he's he wants to win. So that's just my 2 cents. Gentlemen, I wanted to go over something real quick. You know how much I like my lists. And so I wanted to go over a list of some of our free agents.
Okay.
I thought it was really interesting that the broadcast brought up. So if you guys have some time, I would like for you to indulge me a little bit as I give you some of these names.
Okay.
Allen Robinson, keep or let him walk?
Gone.
We didn't see enough. We didn't see him. I don't think you can pay him that amount of money right now.
I mean, there's a lot of unrestricted free agents here, but I'll try to pick out some names. Akeem Hicks.
It's over.
Gone.
There's nothing to do. I would love him to be a Chicago Bear again, but it's not happening. Al,
yeah,
why don't you want him?
Well, he's finally hit the age model where the age is caught up with him. His production is going to start going down. His cap fee is now it's just too high. He's going to demand to be paid, and he should because he still does have a year or two left. He's going to fill a gap on a team that really needs a guy to fill a gap, and good for him. He's going to get paid for doing it. So we just can't do it. It's over.
Yeah,
that and his lack of ability. The guy's hurt all the time.
You're picturing a Ram?
Okay. I'm picturing him on the Rams for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe he makes that sprint to there, and he could fill that. He's rotate in for a couple of downs or be a big man when it's the running defense. But I could see him going there for some reason.
Wilson brought it up. Didn't Hicks just have a fight with a coach, and he refused to show up? Like I've heard there were some bigger issues going.
That was Antonio Brown, Clark.
Oh, that's right. Okay, never mind. Sorry.
Well, Patrick Manley also said that he pulled some shady stuff too with some production where he had a contract with him, and he just said that he even though he signed a contract that he was going to make I believe 5 appearances and within 11 weeks, and he would have to. He only made 1 appearance, and he would have to do 4 in a row. And he bailed out one even 5 minutes before the show. And so he said, if that's the kind of character that you have for production where you're signing a contract, what makes you a bad teammate? And he said that he did hear some scufflings in the locker room that he's a bad teammate for whatever that may be. So
we're still talking about Hicks?
Yes.
Wow. Wilson said he did it to the Mully show too.
Patrick Manley was on the Speegs show yesterday.
All right. What else is on that list?
Remember when Patrick Clark did that to us?
Wait, who?
Desmond Clark. he was going to be on this show, and then
oh yeah, that's right. Then I think he kind of figured out that we weren't a show that he wanted to do. Like we didn't have the numbers at the time. The show's grown a lot since, of course.
Of course.
Yeah, I love
maybe
Des Clark.
Maybe if he had a spot on Beer Down, he would have showed up.
There you go.
For sure.
Casey would have gotten him on.
So all right, I'm gonna group these two: Andy Dalton, Nick Foles.
See ya.
Yeah. Maybe keep somebody as a backup. Flip a coin. Who's a better backup?
Andy Dalton.
Yeah.
Pretty heavy tag there.
All right. It's what's Foles going to cost you anymore? I mean, I don't want to bring back what's his name, Chase Daniel.
Bring back the neck guy.
Maybe the new.
Bring back Glennon to be the backup. Man,
let's get a good like XFL player. Let's get like PJ Walker.
There we go. Foles is still under contract. Boom.
Jason Hill might be available, so maybe he might be a good backup. Jimmy Graham. You want him for the year?
No.
The dust of Jimmy Graham?
No.
I think he might be dead already.
I'd love to break his contract down of how many hundreds of thousands of dollars did he get per catch this year. That would have been great. But we had to have him back, Clark. Remember, that's what we talked about.
Well,
had to have him back.
We had that conversation about Fuller going, but where is Fuller these days?
I think he's in Denver. I don't know if he
still there,
but I would still take a risk on Fuller.
Yeah, me too. But yeah, Graham's got to go. Gone.
Okay. Jermaine is Freedy. So we're in some. So now we're at some linemen. Are you feeling comfortable with the linemen, Borum and Tavon Gibson, enough to start letting some of these linemen go?
It depends on the price. If I just think you always want depth at line. You know, the case I made earlier, man. Good offensive linemen are not something you can get in free agency. And if you can, they charge a king's ransom. So I mean, I would hold on to until you're certain your guys are better.
Okay. With that being said, then we got Patrick Scales, a long snapper, Mustafa, the center. You interested in bringing these guys back?
I mean, it really depends.
Elijah Wilkinson, guard.
Yeah, I just don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I get. Yeah, I don't have an opinion either way on it right now. That so much needs to shake out. I don't know how much money. I don't know if you guys know this. I'm not a cap expert in the NFL. I don't know if you caught wind, but what I do see is a list, and right now is for 2022. It looks like number one with salary cap space with 72,500,000 is the Chargers. Down at number 11 is your Chicago Bears with a little over 43 million is what this shows of cap space.
Which is crazy given the fact we don't have a first round pick and haven't really had first round picks in years.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, there's a couple of interesting names, guys. I'm sorry to toss a lot at you. The two that I see on here, Pat O'Donnell. I didn't realize that he was a free agent. He'd be one I'd be interested in keeping around. And interested what you guys would have to hear about Ogletree and Nichols. I'll let you go, and I'll listen to your response, gentlemen. Thank you. Bear down, and God bless us this offseason.
Thanks, Elijah. I appreciate it as always.
Absolutely. I'd love to see Nichols back. I like him a lot. Again, I'm not sure where his contract's at.
Free agent ratings.
The offensive.
The
punter.
I'm pulling up some actual data here.
Yeah, go ahead and pull it up. I think the O'Donnell thing could fall into what happened with the kicker with Robbie Gould. Obviously, that proved to be the wrong decision. But when you saw them making it at the time, you realized new GM had come in. And it was a lot of money to keep Robbie Gould, and his numbers had started to go back down. Now, obviously, it proved to be wrong. They ticked back up, and I wished Robbie Gould would have been a Bear for life. But I think that might end up – we could get into that kind of trouble with Pat O'Donnell. But because he's a consistently good punter. The one thing about O'Donnell's numbers is that there were a lot of return yards on him, but I think you could put that on the fact that he just punts like a beast and the team couldn't keep up with it. Maybe Wilson brings up that O'Donnell and Ogletree aren't going to cost you a ton. Yeah, I don't know. The Blog Talk show ends, the live show, the podcast will keep going and all the other video feeds, but the Blog Talk live show ends in like 5 minutes. We set that at 2 hours. This has been fun. We've gone a whole long time tonight. Casey chimes in there and says that sell the team. Do it now. Sell the team. I don't, man.
So here are the top projected. These are the best ranking players that are free agents on the Bears right now. It's Allen Robinson, Akeem Hicks, James Daniels, Jermaine Ifedi, Bilal Nichols, who, by the way, I would try to keep. 5 years old, defensive line. I think he offers us good depth. Ranked 55th at his position, but in 2020 he was ranked 36th when he was getting playing time. Andy Dalton and Jason Peters. Those are your top Bears free agents. As far as overall free agents, you have Devontae Adams at number 1, who we have no chance at. Teron Armstead at tackle. He's 30 years old. On the Saints, Chris Godwin, Chandler Jones, Von Miller, C.J. Jackson, Mike Williams, the Gazelle, Marcus Williams, Orlando Brown, they don't have offensive linemen that are appealing. That's the guy. He's 25 years old. But I would think that a franchise tag is going to be used on him, or the Chiefs to get him. And the number one, the 10th ranked free agent is Robinson.
Wow. All right. Yeah. Huh. He's 10th. Wow. I don't think there's many numbers there to give him a lot of money, but I also don't think they gave him the chances. Was I wrong on that, Al, when I brought that up?
What? Allen Robinson?
I feel like we just didn't get to see him.
I thought we saw him. He wasn't playing hard this year, and he was fighting through some injuries. But
True.
Darnell Mooney clearly has taken the number 1 role away from Allen Robinson, and he wasn't given to him. I think Mooney legitimately took the job from Allen Robinson, and Allen Robinson, Pro Football Focus score. In 2019, he was ranked 15th out of 122 wide receivers. In 2020, he was ranked 5th out of 127 wide receivers. In 2021, he was ranked 71st out of 133 wide receivers. So, he tanked this year. He did play less snaps than any of the 3 seasons prior. And I think he'd be a good fit somewhere else. I don't think he wants to come back to the Bears whatsoever. So, it's kind of a moot point.
Yeah, I agree with you completely there. He's not going to be a Bear. Is Darnell Mooney a 1?
I think he's a number 1 till
you losing me.
He's proven he's not. So, it's kind of like and then CD whoever the third, Cedric Wilson. Those guys haven't. Those two, the latter two, haven't pushed him out of the way. But he's clearly third on the depth chart at this point. So I think you keep him as your number 1 until something better comes. If you say, let's say you get Godwin, well then clearly he's your number 2. But I don't think we're realistically going to get Godwin. I don't know if wide receivers want to come play with Justin Fields. I don't know. There's still big question marks. I think we're a couple years away from that happening.
90 seconds.
Well, there goes the Blog Talk. There's Linda, our producer. It worked out with Cincinnati with Chase this year. It's worked out so far.
Wasn't that a situation where they went and they drafted a guy who he played with in college, and they already had a chemistry built in, and they played a pretty good offense. And you have Tyler Boyd as your number 3. You have Chase, obviously the number 1, and then your number 2, Higgins, is a really good wide receiver too. And the beauty of that team, Joe Burrow would just throw to the open receiver. If you look at the breakdown of who got passes, I mean, they were all getting like 6 targets a game, and whoever was open was going off that week. So Cincinnati, really fun offense to watch. And yeah, I mean, you get the 3 wide receivers, man. Things happen. Good things happen.
Yeah. Bring in a new coach. Let's see. Maybe that'll help. Bring in some free agents. New coach, new GM. Maybe it could. As you mentioned earlier, the Chicago Bears they're still the Chicago Bears. This is still a prime original team, like location to be. You turn this around and it's up there kind of like see you later, Blog Talk. It's up there kind of like thank you for joining us. Like the Cubs. I mean, they went out and they did something. They had nothing to lose. They'd never been winners. And obviously it hasn't been 100 years here for the Bears, but it certainly hasn't felt great for a long time when it comes to football championships. That's all. And I love YouTube. The only comments we get are bullshit.
Good to know.
Yeah. Bots or something. I don't know.
Bots. The bots love me, Clark. I'm a big fan of the bots.
What do you think there, brother?
Well, I mean, I don't know how much further we could go. It seems like a lot's been said. It's definitely going to be interesting figuring out where Devontae Adams lands, and if he does indeed land with Aaron Rodgers, who, by the way, I believe is still under contract.
Okay. So it'd have to be a trade to get him out of there?
I think they would have to release Rodgers.
Wow.
But I think there was some talk that
sounds like they were
was
going
to happen. Or
didn't it sound like they were making up a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't shock me if Aaron Rodgers played for the Green Bay Packers next year either.
Yeah, me neither. Me neither.
Chris Godwin, 25 years old, free agent. I mean, that's a guy I would love to see come to the Bears.
I remember
that'd be our number 1.
When they signed Goodwin, I had to reread it a few times just to make sure, like, that it wasn't Godwin.
Yeah, I mean, the guy has the word God and win.
Yes, his name. How can you go wrong?
No, you can't
go wrong. Absolutely cannot. Yeah, we'll see what happens in the future with the Bears. All right. Well,
that about does it.
I want to get talking about the Royal Rumble.
All right.
Next week, I'm going to start catching up on WWE because it's WrestleMania season. And the Royal Rumble is always one of our most fun to watch. Guys watching, we'll do squares. Or no, not squares. We draw numbers.
Yeah, we draw numbers, and we have a nice little pool. Your wrestler gets whatever number you draw. We'll do some gambling. We'll sell some Royal Rumble spots.
And it looks like we're finally going to get that Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar match there.
Oh yeah, the two beefy men squaring off.
MMA, like legit good at MMA, right?
Yeah, 2 good fighters.
All right. Well, until next Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Al, have a good night, man.
Thank you, buddy.
Yep.
Peace and love. Peace and love.
I got to end this show.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
Good night.